What's going on, guys? This is just another game, another video. I'm explaining why MLB The Show is, to me, the absolute best sports game I've ever played anywhere. The absolute best. And this is coming from somebody who is not a. I'm not even like when it comes to basketball, football, and baseball. Baseball is third for me personally, but I still like it a lot. Okay, I like basketball and football a little bit more, but I like baseball too. So you would think that I would be biased towards baseball games, but when I play this game, when I tell you this is the best game I've ever played, sports game wise, I would tell you it is number one. Nothing is better than this, and I'm going to explain why. This is my franchise, as you get, and I'm not making the playoffs, by the way. I only have 3 games left in my franchise. Some of the games I simulated a few of them because I fell behind. I didn't think there was any way that I was going to play that many games. Okay, and we have 3 games left in our franchise. But the main reason why, because nothing is overdone or not done good enough. There's like a balance to this game that just feels almost perfect. Nothing is overdone. Every sports game seems to get carried away with something or do too much of something or not do something enough. This game, I was trying to think what is done way too much or what is not done enough in this, and I could not come up with anything. This game has a balance to it. I'm not telling you that this is a perfect video game, but I'm telling you that when you compare it to the sport games that are, these are my statistics. I have some creative players on here, by the way. You know, on my, I'm playing as the Reds, as you can see, but you know, and this is coming from somebody that played I played franchise. I didn't even make the playoffs. You know what so you would expect me to be bitter or something. No, this game right here is the best game sports title that I've ever played because, like I said, nothing is ridiculously exaggerated. Like, you played Madden or NBA 2K. There's always something that's just a little bit too ridiculous, but there's something ridiculous about the game. Like you just see it or you play it and you're like, no, this is just too much, or this is just unnecessary. Like NBA 2K, I feel like they NBA 2K22, I feel like they tried too hard to make the game very difficult. They did a very good job of it, by the way. Some of the stuff in the game is just too much. Sometimes the shot meter is too much. I know in 2K21 they call themselves as adding a shot aim, and I'm like, the shot is hard enough. For me, a basketball game should be based on how you run plays and how you move around with your players to set up good shots. You don't have to make the shot itself very difficult. That's unnecessary. Sometimes I find shooting itself a little bit, just a little bit too hard. Like it's just too much. As we're getting ready to play this game here, and I have 4 creative play. No, yeah, I have 4 creative players
One
in
of
my
the best
franchise.
ballparks you'll find in the sport, PNC Park in
One of
Pittsburgh.
them is a
The
pitcher.
opener of the final series of the year between the Cincinnati Reds and the
As you
Pittsburgh
can see, we
Pirates.
should be able to
It's
win this
Pirates
game.
baseball. Next on the show.
As our guys are just goofing off. That number 53 is a creative player of mine.
Chad Kuhl gets the call for game 1 of the series. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, Matt, we're getting a look at a guy that's really.
Now I'm gonna give you a couple of talking points here. The batting in this, it takes time to get used to. I played MLB The Show 20. The gameplay in this is drastically improved, but it does take time to get pretty good at this batting. It's balanced. You're gonna strike out. You're gonna pop fly out. You're gonna get your hits. Your guys are gonna have their little batting averages, and the batting averages that I see with my guys look very like once I got used to the game, my averages started to look pretty normal. Like the way MLB teams' batting averages would look.
In
Because,
his last 3 starts, he has a
like
whip
I
of
said,
over 1.50. Lots of base
and I
runners,
like
lots of hits, and
the
lots of walks, and that doesn't add up to very good
I like the
performances. So
batting
he's
aim.
going to look to turn
Everything in
things
this is
around in
just.
this one here today.
And another thing is they give you so many options on controls. They give you a lot of options. You don't see that anymore. You don't see that in Madden. You don't see that in NBA 2K. You don't see that in any major sport titles. That's one thing they got right. They have a lot of options for batting controls, pitching controls, all that stuff. They just give you. We're
Hey
gonna
guys, Mark DeRosa here.
turn this stuff down a little bit. They just they give you so many
Now at the
options on
plate, Jesse
how
Winker.
to play the game
Prior
with
matchups with Chad Kuhl,
controls,
he's got 8 hits
pitching,
in 28
all that
tries.
stuff.
2 of those hits were for home
And
runs. Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch.
in this game, you're rewarded when you make that good
53
swing.
degrees here at game time as it's cooled off
You're
considerably
punished
since
when you
batting
swing
practice
at
this
horrible
afternoon.
pitches. I catch myself anxious to hit the ball, and I swing at ridiculously bad pitches. If there's one knock I have on this game,
The
and
windup
it's
and
nothing
the
that's too
0-1.
extreme,
Oh, and he's really getting the
one
better
knock
of
that
him
I have
now.
on
It's
this
strike 2. And set
is
up behind the
sometimes they
plate is
check
Joe
swing,
McDonald as you see the rest of our
and I
umpiring
don't know
crew in
why
this
he's
one.
check
You
swinging.
know, you
I'll
got to
hit
take your time and feel Joe McDonald out behind the dish a little bit. He has a tendency to move his zone around, usually settling
the
in those middle
presentation
innings.
You know, all you
is
ask for an
excellent in
umpire is
this
to be
game.
consistent.
What's up? This is Mark DeRosa. Welcome.
Times Joe Mack is a little bit too inconsistent, particularly from a pitcher standpoint.
See, like
Starting
right
to chase
there,
there.
he
He'll
check
look for
swinged,
third,
but I
and
was trying to
he's
swing at
it's
it. I
ball
don't know
2.
why he check swinged. As you can see, I swung early. Why he didn't follow through with that swing, I can't
And
answer
to the
that
windup,
question.
here comes the 2-2 pitch.
Hey, there's not a
And
lot
I
of
didn't
room to
swing at
swing
that.
and
And
miss
another
on
thing
that
this
pitch.
game has,
Unless
they
you're
have
catching
bad
way
calls
out
by the
front.
umpires,
I like the idea
but
of taking it and
the
making the pitcher do
commentators
something a little
acknowledge
more
the
hittable.
bad call.
The
So it's
3-2
not like
pitch.
so basically they're
They
trying to
get it
make
split
this
out there. The
as
7th
much like
pitch
the real
coming up.
product as possible. You do not see that in any other game. I don't see it.
And he lays off here, ball 4, and he'll become the
I don't
game's
see
first base runner here with
them do
one
that in
away.
Madden. I don't
Well,
see
that was a
2K doing
slider.
that. If
He
the
took
referee
that one.
calls
He
something, it's
just
pretty
didn't
much
attempt
it.
enough to get a good swing.
You know,
Good job of pitch recognition,
they just
knowing the
kind of
strike
ride
zone
with it.
to draw the
Now
free balls
Madden, you
there.
could challenge plays, so they do have that.
Nick
Which is
Castellanos
good.
at
You
the
could
plate
challenge
now.
in this as
And there you
well.
see his
The
righty-lefty
challenges in
splits
this
and
are
how
pretty
they've
good.
played out so far
The
this
Madden
season.
challenges are really good. I will admit that. They're very good. But none of those sports games compare to just the overall balance this game has. I was actually
First pitch on its
surprised
way.
in how much I actually like this game. They let you know, kind of like your shot meter. You have a swing meter. You get rewarded for timing it perfect
And he fouls this one off.
and getting that perfect aim. As you can see, that left analog aims my bat. That's there's other options you can
Working
use
for
to
the
bat,
punch
but I
out
use
and the
this.
offering. Lifted in the air out
And
towards
as I
left center.
lifted that one, every baseball game has
Fresh
that
falls off the left fielder as he
has
takes
that
charge for the second out.
regular
Ready now
contact or
is
power
Daniel
swing.
Swart.
This
He
game is no
takes his
exception.
first
It has
cuts in
it
this
too.
one with a man at
The
first and 2
power
away.
swingers in this, the guys with a lot of power, you can do contact swings and knock it
From the
over the
mound,
wall
the
with that.
pitch. This one's down to third.
And
Fielded
where
cleanly,
you
and
hit
now
the
to
ball,
second for the force
like
of the
where the
side.
ball is, like if it's on the outside, that affects where the ball is hit. Everything is just balanced so well in this. And sometimes I get beat. It's not super
Sonny
easy.
Gray will be on the
It's
mound for
not
the series
ridiculously too
opener.
hard either.
And please,
That
Zach, what do you got?
and the
Hey, man, we're getting a look at one of the
difficulty
best
factor
pitchers in the game right now in Sonny Gray. Really turning around
advances as you
and
get
that
better
speed.
naturally when you play it,
So
like when
the
you play the
second base
game.
assortment of off-speed pitches, I really
When
like
your
that.
pitcher
Curveball
starts to have
changes too.
bad
Has
stamina, his pitches
multiple
get a little bit
weapons.
worse,
Well,
obviously.
if he's throwing strikes
And I
early,
feel like
this
the
team's gonna have a
attributes in this
difficult
work
time scoring
perfect
many
for the
runs off Sonny
players.
Gray.
And guys, as we take a look at the Reds
And you
entering
got
play here
umpires in
tonight.
this that have
Coming trying to
different
bounce back from the
personalities.
loss last time out, but
Some
they've been in
umpires
good
call
form
strikes
lately, 5-2
wide,
over
some of
their
them
last
don't.
7.
Yeah, Matty,
They
these
have
players
all
got in
that
their
in
cars
this. I
today
mean, they
drive to the
really went
stadium
in depth
focused
with
on
this
one
game.
thing.
They
Not
really
who's
got
going to
deep.
be the hero, just the
Everything
fact that
from
they needed a double
different
and that one of their teammates, whether
umpires.
it's
As you
them
can see,
or
I'm not
someone else,
making
has
good
to come
pitches.
up with a big one.
I do really well
Career
with,
numbers
I don't
against
like
Sonny
walking
Gray.
batters, so I'm
He
going to throw
has a
him
3
something
for
down
12
here.
line. Played off the bender
And
there,
a
but
lot of
it's in
times,
for a
if you
called
throw three
strike.
balls, a lot of times they won't swing. Now, what I do is I'll do a fastball on the edge to get a foul. That's kind of like stealing a strike. It works a lot of times, not all the time.
And it's up to a
Got him
3-2
again.
full
He
count
doesn't want to
here.
swing because he's
Oh, I
trying to
love
get
that
that
right
walk.
there. That's a well-executed pitch down and
They're
away,
probably
and it
mad
hits.
because we
Now
got
look how
walked once
leveraged
and now they want to walk
this
too.
spot right there.
Now the
And the
3-2
AI is
pitch.
incredibly good in this. I love the AI in this game. That's a foul. I'm glad it is because I surely was not getting to that ball. He was probably going to get some pretty
Another
good
full
bases on
count
that.
pitch home. Oh, and the swerve is
And
over
we
for
came
strike
back and
3.
struck him
Ball no
out.
good.
Look at that.
One thing to know is not all strikeouts
And
are
the
created
AI,
equal.
you know,
Right there,
batters
down on strikes,
adjust
but
to
he
your
really
pitching,
made that guy on the
you
mound
know,
work for
and
him.
he knew he had
You're
three
doing that in
balls.
the first
So
inning.
he was
You
probably
should
trying
have
to
a
get that
feeling
free
how fast
base.
he's going to be able to go into this
You
start.
know, each
He's
batter
been
has a
making
different way of
moves with
swinging
that
at
and going
pitches
down
and
on
stuff
3 or
like
4
that.
pitches.
I mean, the
And here
game
now
is
is
just,
Wilmer Defoe.
I don't even know.
Batting left-handed here as he
The
takes a
bad
look
thing
at
about
strike
that
1.
is,
He
you know,
comes in with that
MLB The Show
average down to the
22,
240s. 5
the
homers,
problem with making the
27
game as good
driven
as
in.
this game is, you you have to somehow improve
Wind
it,
up
and
in the
sometimes people
0-1.
try too hard to change stuff so that you don't get people mad saying, "Oh, they didn't change the game." It's the same thing. And they'll change something and it'll turn out to be worse. I've seen games turn out like that. As you can see, he called that on the edge. That looked like that could have been a ball, but like I said, the umpires are different in this. Okay, we got two strikes. By the way, I strike out a lot of batters. I mean, it's nothing too ridiculously over. It's not
And a
ridiculous.
swing and a miss as they
It's
got him
nothing
with the slider
ridiculously
there,
too
2
easy,
away.
but I
Great
definitely get my
job of the number
strikeouts in this
1 and
for
2
sure.
hitters to
I have
set
a
the
creative
batter
pitcher.
up
I
with
put
the
his
first
attributes up
baseman.
pretty good,
Damn, it's over
and
when
I
you
didn't
strike
max him
both
out,
balls
but
early. You're putting
and
yourself
he
in a very
strikes
good
guys
position.
out, man. He's
Put
the leader in
guys in the
MLB
lineup
in
without a
my
whole lot of
franchise
stress.
in
Into
strikeouts.
the box now, Colin Moran. As he takes a called
But
strike
the
on the
thing of it
plate, it
is, if
gets
you're a
0-1.
beginner at this game and
Attempt
you're
to
not
put the
sure if
ball
you want to
in play
mess with
for
it
a
because
change here with the
you think
first
it
two
might be
guys
too
going down on
complicated,
strikes to start the inning.
nah, this game will be okay for you. I mean, when you first start off, you can just learn the game, go from there.
Well-located
As you
changeup
can
on that
see,
one
it
as it
seems like
catches the
nobody
black
really
for a
wants to
called
swing at
strike.
anything.
Back-to-back
And these are the
strikeouts in the
Pirates.
first right here.
They're
Pitcher
like
is
one of the
setting the
worst teams
tone
in this.
pound in the zone.
And a half-hearted
And we
swing
struck
there as
out
they
three
tie him up
batters.
inside for the third
And
strike,
they
and
have
the inning
really
is
good
over.
batting,
So a
really good
pitching clinic
body
there as he
language and
sets them
stuff.
down in
And
order,
also, when
all
you
via
play
the
this,
punch-out. An
every
inning in
now
the
and
books,
then
no score on the show.
you will
Now for the
notice
Reds,
your
Michael
guys are just
Stockus.
hot. I mean, you're hitting
Prior
the ball
matchups for
everywhere.
Chad Cool.
In
He's
some
been
games, it
3 for
seems like you can't get
13,
anything
batting
going.
1.
That's pretty much how baseball is. I mean, you got a real good
Infield
pitcher on the
shifted
mound,
well to the right. Here's the first pitch. As
and
he
I
takes a
definitely should
called
have swung
strike
at
at the
that.
knees.
It
It's
looked to me like it
0-1.
was
He
coming,
wrote Dan to
you know,
look at
to the
his Pirates
inside, but it
ball
didn't
club as they enter
come
play
as
here tonight.
far
They
on the
came out on
inside
a
as I
losing
thought it
end
would.
last time out and are in a bit of a
And I
skid.
love
In
that
fact,
batting
they've
aiming
lost
thing. It's
7
like
of their last 10.
Yeah, Matty, this
it's like
definitely looks like a
that perfect
situation where
system
somebody's going to
because
have to call a
it's not
TV.
way too
I don't
hard.
know
It's
if it
not way
comes
too
from a
easy.
veteran
It's
or the
like right
manager decides to
smack dead in the
close the
middle.
doors for a second, but this team has not played well.
As
They find
as he
themselves
swung at a
losing
ridiculously
lately.
bad
They've
pitch.
lost the
I
last
got a
two,
habit of swinging at them
and they're
horrible
going to
low
need a spark
pitches.
to get this thing
For
going.
some reason, I've been
And
trying to
he
break
drills
that
one
habit.
in deep, take care of
Sometimes
him
I
for
don't
the
swing
first
at it.
out.
But anyway, what I was saying is, you're gonna struggle and you're gonna be on fire. Everything's gonna happen in this. It just
Now the
depends on who
pitch.
you're up against.
Nick Senzel comes on with
But
one
man, I
gone
tell
here as he
you,
looks at a
those
called
good
strike
pitchers,
1.
it's tough to hit their balls. You go like 6, 7 innings with nothing, and then you tire them out.
Line drive to left.
As you can see, he got a hit, but he's
In
out.
his tracks now as he makes the catch for out number 2.
He got that
I
one
got
pretty
decent at the
good.
batting in
He
this.
just didn't have the
I hit a
right
decent
touch
amount of
again.
homers
Very open
when I
and
play
low.
this game.
Small difference where the ball hit the bat
And different batters, you know, if you lack power in this, your batter is low in power, like less than 30 or less than 35, 40, less than 30, I'll say. You don't want to do contact swings because you want to do normal because contact swings are usually in infield hits. You want to go normal. Let's try to hopefully I can still strike on the edge by making him hit a foul. This doesn't work 100% of the time. Nothing works 100%. Let's, let's try it again. Bring it in a little bit closer. See if we can get him to hit that foul. And he got us. And I totally botched that one. You know what I'm saying? I took that risk, tried to get that strike, but it came a little bit too far inside, and he took advantage of me. That's how this game is, man. You throw that ball, you throw a regular fastball right in the center. Even a not-so-good pitcher might knock that one over the wall. I mean, a not-so-good batter. So you got to, you know, they make you play chess when you're a pitcher, man. You got to play chess. But if you play around with too many pitches, I could have went for two, but I was just too far out there. So I took the safe first base. You try to go for second, he's already got lead on that run. He might get there and you end up with no outs. It's a gamble. So I try to avoid it sometimes. I'm gonna try to go home. He made it. That was a really good throw, but he was just too far out. So they got me right now. They're ahead, as you can see. I shouldn't be struggling with the Pirates, but that's what I'm saying. You don't throw the, man, you give them good pitches, boy. They're going to eat you alive in this. I like to put them on the outside a little bit. And sometimes these batters will try to test you. I'm not too excited or thrilled about the base stealing system. I think the timing is bad. It seems like the runner has too much of an advantage. It's nothing extreme, but I'd like to see that adjusted a little bit. Make it where you have a better chance of getting him out, because, you know, that's one other thing I would say. But nothing that I'm complaining about is like real bad. Like something where you're just playing and you're like, I just can't mess with this. Because I have an NBA 2K22 video, and it explains that I just absolutely cannot play NBA 2K22. I can't. I'm horrible at the game. And I don't know why. And the way and the franchises, that looked to me like a strike, but sometimes they call them the other way. And it's not that the game is cheating. It's that the umpires just make bad calls sometimes. And the commentators will acknowledge that. Ooh, got him. That was fairly close. He thought he'd take a chance and not swing at it. Sometimes I'll give him 3 balls on purpose because I feel like I could strike him out because they don't want to swing at that point. This here, I picked him up. He's a free agent. He's not a real baseball player. He's somebody that the game, I think some of the free agents are just random. Or I think some of them were just random guys that they just kind of threw in the game. I guess that's what they are. I could tell by his face that he is more like a creative player. I will tell you this too. Your creative players don't look as good as the real players as far as their faces and how realistic they look. And I swung at a ridiculously bad pitch. I was intimidated by the fact that I had two strikes already, and I didn't want to take a chance of Oh, that was horrible. And I'll do that from time to time. I'll catch myself swinging at ridiculously bad pitches.
And a first pitch swing, he gets a fly ball to left center.
That's our pitcher.
Will range to his left as he tracks this one down in left center for the second out of the inning.
The first baseman, number 19.
Joey Votto is a very clutch batter in this. He's won us some games with some pretty big hits a couple times. Let's see if he can't knock it out the park. We're going to do a power swing here. Hopefully he can.
Now the pitch. And the Reds have
He's a
their
good batter
first
in
hit of
this.
the game.
He gets caught. As you can see, his speed is 19, man. That's really bad. I mean, they didn't hold back on slow players. If you're slow, they're going to tell you you're slow in this. And I guess a lot of baseball players in real reality are not super fast runners anyway. They're fast enough to, you know. Jesse Winker, he's one of our power hitters. Hopefully he can knock it out of the park.
In now, Jesse Winker. As he'll take a look at his sinker here.
That was too low. I'm trying to lay off them low ones.
282 to start play, 32 home runs, and 68 runs batted in. Here's the 1-0.
I should not have swung at that. That was ridiculous. I gave him a free strike.
Votto is off at
Even though I
first,
made
leads the
contact,
way.
that was way too far on the inside.
Oh, they have him looking awfully confused up there right now. It's 1-2.
And the commentators will call you out when you're swinging at ridiculously bad pitches.
See if the Fishers still bite.
And this one runs.
I don't even know why I did that. He just totally screwed me over on that one. Or I screwed myself over on that one.
For the Pirates,
On to the bottom of
the
inning
pitcher.
number 3.
That was actually embarrassing. That last at bat I did. I swung at like nothing but bad pitches.
For strike 1.
And ironically, they're not swinging it much. Even the good ones, they're trying to get free bases. They're trying to bring that pitch count up.
Behind 0-2 now. Nothing in 2 count and the pitch. And a swing and a miss as he picks up yet another
Man, we are
strikeout.
burning these
6
batters,
in the ball
man.
inning, and there's 1 gone in the inning.
I mean, we're drilling a hole through them bats.
the second baseman.
And then start working outside the zone. Easier said than done, but that's the way to do it.
I never played this game online. I don't really want to.
Stepping
I always
in
feel
now,
like a
Kevin
baseball
Newman,
game would have bad lagging or something, but
as the first pitch to him is in there for
and
a
they
strike
still don't
1.
want to swing at
0 for
nothing.
1 here in the early going.
Were they protesting or something? Why are they not swinging? And I do not like putting things right in the heart in the middle of that plate.
A 1-1 count.
I always try to
Pirates
get him with
leadoff
bad
hitter.
pitches.
Newman is
See if-
unlike many of today's hitters in the sense that he doesn't have a lot of swing and miss in his approach at the plate. More often than not, he gets contact, and I'm sure that makes him a frustrating hitter to face from a pitcher's standpoint.
You know, he takes his chances when he has count leverage. Without question, 1-0, 2-0, you'll see this guy try and get nasty a little bit, but he stays within himself. He knows what his strengths are, and he tries to drive the ball right back where it came from.
Throw on to first, 2 gone.
And I like that throwing meter too, that
So now into the
the harder your throw is, the smaller that thing is, as it should be. It took me time to get used to that. I was struggling with it when I played MLB 20, MLB The Show 20.
Take a look at ball 1. 2 out, nobody on.
We're gonna finish this inning off and end the video. But yeah, my main point in this video is
Knocked him up. Hernandez
just the simple fact that
side is retired.
I don't know of a better game than this. Sports title. It is the absolute number 1
1-0.
best that I've seen.